Nigel Benn's back in business tonight, sights set on another world title shot. Chris Eubank stopped the Dark Destroyer in his tracks. But Ben, newlywed in Las Vegas, says we'll see a new man tonight at Bethnal Green. Also, Aston Villa take on Arsenal. Can David Platt's goal scoring help them out of the bottom four? Or will the First Division's safest goalkeeper David Seaman keep Arsenal on top of the league? And from Hall Green in Birmingham, the first Grand National of the week as the Greyhounds jump to it for a £5,000 prize. The big fight, the big match and the first Grand National of the week. It's all on Central Sports Special tonight. Nigel Benn is back in action. Aston Villa are aiming to halt Arsenal's run towards the Championship, and we've got a Greyhound Racing Classic from Birmingham's Hall Green track as our main events. Plus, the best of the goals from the Easter holiday matches, and we've got news of Swindon Town's new manager. But first, it's boxing and Nigel Benn against Robbie Sims of America, a tough opponent who's the brother of marvellous Marvin Hagler. But a fight that Benn must win if he's to re-establish himself as a world title contender. The pinnacle of Benn's career, his WBO world title demolition of Iran Barkley.
Round, it's done him again. Remember now, the 3 knockdown rule of WBO is in effect if he goes down once more in this round. No, he stopped it already. Carlos Padilla is saying this man can't go on. It's a compassionate act. Ben
4 months ago, the lowest point, defeat after a brutal battle with Chris Eubank.
Opened him up with the left hand and then shot the right hand over and it connected. There's the countdown. If he did go down, the count would continue.
Ben's shaking, Reg.
Right to his boots, Jim.
Ben is shaking. The eyes watch Reg. This will be the finish of the belt.
And it's all over in the 9th round.
A month later, a nicer kind of match in Las Vegas.
Forgive each other.
I, Nigel,
Take you, Sharon,
take you, Sharon,
for my wife.
for my wife.
With this ring,
With this ring,
I thee wed.
I thee wed.
No smiles for the camera from tonight's opponent, Robbie Sims, a battle-hardened survivor of 42 fights. At ringside supporting him is brother Marvin Hagler, one of the all-time great world champions. They're not too bothered about Ben.
The type of person that just comes out, anybody gets in the way, they just want to rip apart any way they can. That's not boxing. That's not artistry.
You've never been stopped. Have you ever been dropped?
I've been down before.
But you've never been stopped. A lot of people think that you're shot over the hill now. What do you say about
A lot
that?
of people think Bush shouldn't be president.
Nigel Benn has never trained harder for a fight, and he reckons he's learned a lot from his setbacks.
When I fought Watson, I mean, he had so much experience over me, and I mean, I was just like a bull in a china shop. And I've just learned so much since, you know. I go home, I sit, I cry, get myself together, sit down with my trainer and go for everything. So, I learned from a defeat. Obviously, I don't want another defeat.
So can Nigel Benn regain his fearsome reputation and promote his claims for a return match with Chris Eubank? Commentators at the York Hall Bethnal Green are Jim Watt and Reg Guttridge.
Ladies and gentlemen, Harry Holland, Winners Worldwide Promotions, in conjunction with Top Rank of the United States, are proud and pleased to present 10 3-minute rounds international middleweight boxing. And I firstly introduce to you our visitor, boxing out of the red corner, wearing the white trunks with the red and green piping. Would you please welcome, from Brompton, Massachusetts, Robbie Sims. And coming out of the blue corner, wearing the black trunks with the yellow and the gold and red piping, from Ilford in Essex, Nigel Benn. Nigel Benn scaled 11 stone, 4.5 pounds. scale 11 stone and 6 pounds. This is 10 3-minute rounds of boxing. Our timekeeper is Mr. Tommy Rice and our referee Mr. John Coyle of Birmingham.
So John Coyle then referee, one of the world-class referees. Now just come back actually from refereeing Mike McCullum and Sambu Kalambe World Championship at the weekend. So all the talking now is gone, and well, is this going to be a salvage fight, as it were, for Nigel Benn? The Robbie Sims of a few years ago was a bit handy, but he's now 31. He's had 2 cracks at the World Championship and hasn't made it. And let's see now which stance he's actually going to take up. He's really a natural southpaw, but often like Marvin Hagler could switch when he wanted to. Damp blink, as it were, here, Jim, because they both had a lot of first-round wins. 4 by Sims, which I suppose is not a lot, but it's enough, and 13 in the first by Benn, but of course not against this quality of opposition. Many of them what he used to call, derisory really, the Mexican road sweepers.
Well, Sims has come out on his toes, Reg, moving away from Benn. So obviously he's heard all about Benn's fast start. He just wants to have a little look there, box himself into this fight, because everybody realises how dangerous Benn is in the first round.
I like that expression that Sims has been calling him a junkyard dog, which means he's, well, tough as a butcher's dog, as they say over here. But this switching of stance has surprised me. I've seen Sims fight a bit in the past, and he's nearly always boxed southpaw.
I think once he really gets down to business, Reg, the right hand will come forward. He has a natural southpaw. But I think he's just moving around. See, they started to come out then. Yeah, when he goes about his business, I think he'll go back to southpaw.
Yeah, he's a good, capable boxer. Just how much has he got left, as they say, Sims? When he tastes Benn's good punches, or hardest punches, when he gets close enough. At the moment, Benn's been throwing around, catching him on the arms a little bit. Side of the head, sort of, in golf speak, you'd call that a bit of collateral bombing. He's now got to go on to the target. Again, just on the side of the head there, Jim. Drops that right hand in well, Ben. He's a bit restrained to what he normally is, and that's a good thing, really, in this sort of contest.
See, a couple of times Sims has been caught kind of wrong-footed, and I think that is down to this orthodox stance. I mean, that was a silly position he put himself in then, and I think that's down to his left foot being forward, Reg. I think it's a stupid start for Sims. He's made a couple of mistakes already.
He's tasted the high life anyway, and personal problems with the drink and drugs, which he now admits. But on the other hand, he's also been in with the best, and 2 world championship chances he's had. But as often happens against fellas that turned out too good for him, Sambu Kalambe and Doug DeWitt. But also on his record, remember, Jim, he does have a good win over then decent Roberto Duran, plus Iran Barkley.
But there's no question Sims has been a quality fighter. But as we say, we'll have to wait and see just how much desire he has left and how the old legs are. He's had quite a tough career.
And right on the bell, that was a punch that got away from Benn. The crowd here sensed that could have been the knockout blow. It doesn't matter what they pay to come in, and believe it or not, the ring sides are £150. And Vic Andretti, who used to fight here, actually won a championship here in the corner. There's the rundown on Nigel Benn. 2 losses, of course. The last one to Chris Eubank, and before that to Michael Watson. Former Commonwealth Championship, and there's the call over, as it were, for Robbie Sims. Knocking on a bit at 31, but at least he took some time out when he had his personal problems, so in boxing terms, he could be about 28, really. He's never been stopped or knocked out, but he has been down on the canvas, contrary to some opinions we've heard. He has taken knockdowns.
10 seconds.
Fought 6 world champions.
Second, round 2.
Out for the second, a lively enough start. And Benn taking his time at the start of the opening round, and right at the end is trying to drop those right hands in. It'd be quite a feat if he's first to stop Robbie Sims or knock him over.
thing about Sims, Jim, he's always been a natural middleweight. He's never put on a lot. He's never come in at fights at silly weights. He's always been around the 11 stone 6 mark. And he's bang on that tonight.
That is the sign of a good professional who doesn't float about from weight to weight. So at least he hasn't abused his body in between fights, which always helps if you want a longer career. They used to call him the policeman in the States. You had to get past him if you wanted a shot at Hagler. Holding and hitting going on there. John Cole will just step in if he has to. There's been quite a controlled start from Ben. He's been stalking Sims and just looking for the openings, but he doesn't seem to be in any hurry. He's obviously paying Sims the same respect that he's been paid back.
And the crowd on the back of the little hall at heart of East London now recognise that from the back of the hall. That was switched up to originally due for the NEC at Birmingham.
A fairly costly fight to stage ready, but the new promoters, fairly new worldwide winners, have managed it. The Harry Holland group.
The fight's really catching fire now, Reg. Ben was pinned on the ropes then, but that's when we see him at his most dangerous. That's when he drops the bomb in.
He's still a bit sprightly, Jim Sims. He's good legs.
Yeah, but he's moving around well. That's obviously been the pre-fight plan, not to trade with Ben early. Just to move around, have a little look at him. But he's been caught once or twice with his chin a little bit high.
Oh, good left hook he finished there, Ben. Sort of punch that would have knocked a few opponents over, but and that one, a straight punch, but he knows how to survive. Watch how he ducked and dived there, didn't he, Sims? He was banging trouble and looked like getting out of it okay. A bit too late in this round for Ben on that. He's willing to stand and trade Sims. They haven't heard the bell. The referee's just heard it and he's got to dive in. The seconds are up there. Ambriel's Mendy on the outside of the ropes was up there looking at the referee. And, well, although he's not a licensed corner man, apparently he said he's going. And there's Hagler, the main man himself, who's saying well done to Robbie to fight back the way you did and give him some instructions, one would hope.
Now then, Jim, let's have a quick look at that in replay.
Well, Sims was badly stunned in that round, Reg, and we wonder at this stage in his career how quickly he can spring back from that. But good shots from Ben. He really got the power into the punches. He's been stalking Sims and then suddenly exploded into life. That was the jab that caught him square-footed, as he's been caught a couple of times. Shortly after, and this I think is when the real solid shots come in from Ben. Real powerful shots that must have taken a little bit out of Sims. That's it, the same jab again.
Third round.
Well, the old soldier Ben comes out bombing all right now, but he's got to respect him because when he was under fire, he still came back. There's no lack of heart in the Hagler family, I promise you that. He just used his mother's name and Hagler wanted the father, or maybe the other way around.
Well, Sims is coming back with shots, and Ben Reg is a little bit careless himself. He's been caught with a few of these swings. So you have to remember, Nigel Benn's coming back from a real hard night's work with Eubank. That really was a war.
No punch going there, and he quite rightly complained about that, Sims.
I don't think the referee probably didn't quite see that. He may have done as a warner, but he's ignored it. They're wearing the obligatory foul-proof protectors. But that doesn't mean you can't get disqualified for a low punch. You don't have to hurt the opponent to get disqualified. Remember, there are no judges here. Probably the first time that Sims has ever had a contest without judges. whatever happens now, Jim, it looks like it was a good testing opponent anyway, not somebody who just came to oblige.
Yeah, but he's certainly here to put up some resistance. He took a couple of good shots in the previous round. He's come back well. Ben hasn't pressured him the same in this round, but I'm sure in the last minute he'll burst into life again. The last minute of the round here.
Got a bit of a wide stride actually, Ben. I don't know whether that helps his punching power, but it tends to leave him off balance a little bit.
Ben is throwing the right hand from a little bit far out. He's going to have to get a little bit closer to Sims. Sims is using the ring, moving out of reach. So Ben just wants to step up a little bit closer as he usually does.
Well, there's one thing for sure, that being out of the ring and having some hard times both in the ring and personal life hasn't completely condemned all of Sims's talents. So the countdown for the end of the third of the scheduled 10. And here's Robbie Sims, though he's absorbed some of Ben's best punches in those opening rounds. What's that? Best known face in Britain, I would think. Frank Bruno, surrounded there with Tessa Sanderson and Marvin Hagler, is in good company. I think this is where this low punch where we spotted just before the referee said so, Jim. It came in. Oh, bump. Yes, that could easily affect your courting arrangements. Round 4. Just catching Ben's punches, is catching some just a bit higher around the face. He hasn't quite got him on the point of the jaw, really, has he?
Yeah, well, Sims is moving away from most of Ben's punches, so Ben just not getting that little bit of power in. But I think once he pins him on the ropes, then he can really let the power into the punch. But Sims is boxing the right kind of fight. He's just keeping out of harm's way, using his feet well. I don't think this is typical of the way Sims boxes, but it's certainly good advice tonight.
He's hitting air a bit too now, Ben. He's got to tighten that up a bit as he's going along to try and re-challenge for championships again. For the moment, he hasn't made any success with trying to get a return with Eubank because he wants parity in pay, and Eubank won't go along with that.
Sims has certainly picked up the experience there. Just at the last split second, he just pulls his chin away, and Ben just can't pin him with the powerful shots.
Considering he hasn't been that active, he fought a near 40-year-old last time up in Ralph Moncrief, in last November that was, his last fight. His timing's not that bad.
He's been boxing well, I say, and the tactics he's chosen have been sound. So he's trying to back away from Ben. Just slip the odd counter punch and don't take any chances, and that's what he's been doing so far.
He's had 22 stoppages in his 32 wins, Sims, so he must be able to dig a bit. You can see why he hasn't been counted out or stopped, Jim. He's too difficult to nail, isn't he?
Yeah, well, he has been boxing well. As I say, I don't know if this is the way he always goes about business. He's now trying to back Ben up a little bit, which wouldn't be a bad idea if he could manage it.
He's working well to the body there. Hoping that the head must fall there, Ben.
Ben has been reaching a little bit, Reggie. He's just not stepping up close enough. See, there he goes. He's out of range with far too many punches. He's going to have to step closer to Sims.
Well, all the swab sticks are out in the trainer's mouth there in case they're needed, but there's no sign of blood there at all with Ben. He's not really a cutting boxer. He's swollen up a bit in the past, as we've seen. So let's have a look now. They got to work to the body here a bit now, Jim.
Yeah, well, Sims produced a nice little burst to the body and finished it off with 2 half-decent hooks up to the head. But Ben a little bit out of range for a lot of that round. There goes the first, and another left hook come across. But Ben had trouble pinning Sims down in that round.
Second up, round 5.
Out for the 5th round of the scheduled 10 at middleweight. 11.4.5 Ben. A bit lighter than when he fought Eubank last year. And Robbie Sims at 11.6. Well, the switch style he's been more orthodox than southpaw most of the time now, hasn't he?
Well, he's just caught Ben with a nice right cross bang onto the chin. I think maybe that shook Nigel slightly. But Ben, I think, is going to have to busy up his act. I think he's relying on single punches, trying to get Sims out there with one shot. I think he's going to have to think more about boxing, putting punches together.
He had the experience in America of a couple of long-distance fights. In fact, he won 5 contests in the States, Ben, where he's not particularly popular, having hit Oran Barkley on the floor in defence of his WBO championship before Chris Eubank came along to disarray him.
Well, Ben has been caught now. Sims coming in a little bit more into the action now, but that might give Ben the chance he's been looking for. But Sims beginning to step a little bit closer, put more power into his own punches. So if Ben's going to make his move, now is the time.
There's one thing about the Brockton Petronelli camp, they always bring their fighters in good shape, and they wouldn't have taken this fight for Sims if they weren't satisfied with his condition, despite a lot of inactivity. A good solid punch to the body, that, Jim, wasn't it? I could feel it from here.
Yep, right between Sims's arms, bang onto the pit of the stomach. Good shot. See, Ben's still very wild, very ragged. He's not really putting punches together, not really mounting a good solid attack.
Yeah, he's creating a bit of air, and certainly the wind won't knock this fellow over.
Ben's timing not quite right, and the tactics that Sims using giving him more problems. But Sims is coming into the action a little bit more now with these little solid leads.
Tends to lack a bit of patience, actually, Ben, but he's nailed so many people so early in the contest.
Well, he's got through with a couple here, Reg. He's shaking Sims. A couple of shots get through to the chin then. Sims was shaking there.
Oh yes, he right above us here, Jimmy, kind of half fell forward with that one. And I think he's going to enjoy that walk back to the corner. He needs the rest of that round. Is he going to run out of gas the way he flopped himself on the stool there, Sims? Not a good sign at all. Pat Petronelli on the outside there, and Goody brother in the inside, who was a former naval man in the medics, and can really handle any cuts that come along. Now here's where Ben gets through with those punches with this Sims on the ropes, Jim.
Yeah, a couple of nice little sharp uppercuts there. That one just glanced the chin, but Ben got through with a couple, and Sims, as you can see, trying to hold on here. But Sims was under a little bit of pressure then.
10 seconds.
And I think the real solid shots actually landed before the slow-mo started then, Reg, with some good shots.
Second shot. Round 6.
Round 6. And in case you have joined us a bit late, Nigel Benn and Robbie Sims, and no knockdowns, and a good hard middleweight scrap this one. No championships at stake, of course. But in fact, every fight is an eliminator for a world championship at this level. He's trying to welcome a fight. He wants Sims to come bundling in there. But he's missed a lot. He can't afford to do that.
Ben's timing hasn't been quite right, but it's been a cracking battle, really, as exciting as all of Ben's matches.
Frank Bruno jumping up from his seat. I haven't seen that from him for a long time as Ben gets through. Crowd absolutely cut the atmosphere with a knife here at York Hall. They're used to great battles in this little arena, and this one really satisfying them.
I think Sims wants his hands up a little bit higher now, Reg. His defences are loose here, and Ben is really on the march.
You know, he's got to watch he doesn't punch himself out, Ben. It's been known before. And now Hagler's on his feet now. He's seen Bruno do it, so he's getting up for his man. Would you believe this?
Well, Sims still has plenty of life about him, Reg, because these have been hard rounds the last couple.
Well, it's certainly caught fire now, isn't it, this one? But I do feel, Jim, there's a lot of weariness about Sims's work.
Yeah, but I think some of the shots Ben caught him in the previous round took some of the steam out of his legs. But a good old pro, Reg, and he's still there, and he's pinning Ben on the ropes. He's trying to push him back. But Ben's still the one with the power.
And Ben's using the ropes, well, not to catapult so much, but a little bit of a spring to get some power into his punches. He doesn't mind working off the ropes. Oh, two good shots. The left hook right above us, and the sweat from the fighters coming over us here at the commentary position.
Well, Sims is definitely a quality opponent.
Yeah, it's good to see that, isn't it? That's nice that it's not been an easy one for Ben, and he's still got to win it.
He's taken some real good shots, and straight back in again he goes. Another good shot from Ben. Riggs, this fellow has a good chin.
Well, as I said, Jim, no stops or knockouts in 42 fights. It's incredible. So we get a good nagging there from Vic Andretti. Presumably not to take his time, but to be better with his timing. And Jim, our overhead camera view of this one.
Yeah, another good round. Big punches coming from both. Now Ben really caught Sims with some tremendous shots. That was a good shot. But Sims always looking back at his opponent, collects his senses, comes back with punches. A quality opponent, and giving Nigel Benn all sorts of trouble here.
And ducking a bit low, actually, Ben. Wouldn't be surprised the referee might stop him from doing that. Shouldn't be below the waistline. But I don't blame him. If somebody was hitting me like that, I'd jump on their back, get out of the way. So we're out for round 7. There's not much in it, Jim, is there? What do you think? Ben's just a bit in front, landing more punches? Or what?
Yeah, I think Ben's been busier all the way through. The first few rounds, Sims boxed a kind of defensive campaign, so Ben moved into a lead. But he's been coming back in with good shots, but I still think we have to have Ben in front. Another good shot, Reg, and the man's still standing there.
Don't leave me to tell you what he's up to. So it looks as though Andretti, the trainer of Ben, has got through to him now to try and be a little bit patient, pick the punches a bit better. He doesn't want him to waste so many, Jim.
He wants a bit more control, Reg, but I don't think he wants Sims backing him up like this. I think Ben should be coming forward, punching in 3s and 4s. He was throwing too many single shots earlier on, but I don't think he wants to be backed up by this man.
So he absorbed the right-hand punch there that could knock over a few middleweights, and he just shook his head. Sims comes straight back in. Whenever he gets any success, he certainly gets brother Marvin shouting encouragement, and quite understandably. It's always odds away from home, isn't it? You need all the help you can get, and there is Marvin now, as I said. I doubt whether Robbie can hear him in this.
That was a beautiful shot, Reg. The best punch of the fight.
What a finish. What a knockout. He's been down before, but will he get up from this one? It's going to be a long count. No, he's going to count him out. No, put your hands up, Coyle said. Let me see you're ready to go on. Stunning knockdown there. That's it. It's stopped there. And all the seconds are in the ring. I don't think Sims realises that it's all over. Almost before the referee crossed his arms there, the seconds were in the ring right away, so he had no option. He was going to stop it at that point anyway, Jim, but they didn't take any time. There was a real catapult job by the Ben corner there, but a good finish.
That was a real quality punch, Reg, and just as Sims looked as though he was climbing back into the fight, the Ben's blasted him out, but it really was a quality left hook. As soon as that punch landed, Reg, I think the fight was over. Sims managed to get up onto his feet. I don't know how, but had absolutely nothing left. A tremendous punch.
Yeah, well, that's the first time that Robbie Sims has been stopped. He would have been counted out, I think, but the referee, there it is now. The left hook, Jim, a peach of a punch, as they say in boxing, and again there, he got the second one in, no missing there. Jim, here's the same knockdown.
The first left hook was a peach. Over he comes, hips and shoulders into the punch. Look at Sims's legs. He backed off, ready to go over. Ben doubles up, a beautiful shot.
So that's when he asked.
But it's only the quality of the man that allowed referee Coyle to allow him to continue. But he had one quick look, saw how serious the trouble was, and the referee now pouncing in.
And as I said, the second legs were coming in as he was crossing his arms there. And there's a finish from the overhead camera again, Jim. As you say, he had no chance at all then, and John Coyle was absolutely right bang. Right, that's when it's all over. In the 7th round.
Ladies and gentlemen, in 2 minutes, 11 seconds of the 7th round, referee John Coyle has stopped the contest as Robbie Sims was in no position to defend himself. Our winner, Nigel Benn.
So consolation there by Hagler to his brother in 2 minutes, 11 seconds of that round. And an absolute, well, a convention in the ring. It's like a street party up there. No matter how much security you get at this kind of fight, everybody wants to get into the act and often does.
Well, Nigel Benn had promised us controlled aggression. I think you'll agree we got it. Worth noting, incidentally, that's the first time in 11 years that Robbie Sims has been stopped. Well, it's always a bit of a scrum afterwards, isn't it? It didn't stop. I suspect it never would stop our man Gary Newborn getting into the ring, not for a fight, but to talk to the winner.
And I didn't want to fight nobody, you know. I want to fight somebody with a name who's been in with the top middleweights in the world. And I actually fear him. I fear Doug DeWitt, Iran Barkley, all the Americans I fear. And the guys at Michael Watson, you know, all respect to Michael Watson and Chris Eubank for going out there and beating me. But the thing about it, I couldn't get up for them. I tried to, but because Americans already done it, I fear him. And you know, I wish both Michael Watson and Chris Eubank, you know, a successful career.
It was a terrific punch. He says he was changing stances. This is the first knockdown we're looking at. There you are. Whoa! It's left you speechless, but it was pretty good, wasn't it?
I felt good, but you know, we never went in there and wasted any shots. We never wasted any shots, really, and I think that's what it paid off.
Well, here's Michael Watson. It's all happening here tonight. Right. Michael, we've just got time to ask you, who are you going to be boxing? Are you going to be boxing Steve Collins? Are you going to be boxing Eubank? Or are you going to be boxing Ben?
Well, my main aim is to take on Chris Eubank.
Chris Eubank.
Chris Eubank.
Come on, man. I owe you both.
I'd like Nigel picked his shots very well tonight. I'd like to get it on after beating Chris Eubank to take on Nigel again.
So
it's
Eubank
performance.
next, not Collins for the European title?
Not Collins.
No? Why not?
Eubank.
Why not
I've got
Collins?
a better offer to take on Chris Eubank, and
right.
I think it'll be a bit of a risk to me going all the way to Dublin. You know, you know. I mean, it's his hometown. I want to take on Eubank to the easier task, and I want to get back on with this guy.
You see, me and Michael, we're old friends, and I respect him, man. We're going to get it on again.
Thank you very much.